Is there supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that.
Know the reason, but what is the reason why you moved to Houston?
Well, look, first of all, like every time I've experienced Houston, like when I was out here, I ran into random acts of kindness. Like the people have been good to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the places that I'm like, man, or maybe Houston, like Houston or Miami popped into my head. Mm-hmm. They said 58%. I said, what? You my partner? The IRS is my partner now? Oh no, all you get is a Yankee hat? I'm going to Houston.
So let's be clear, 50 Cent didn't just throw shade. He launched a grenade, and when it exploded, the debris scattered all over J. Prince, Supreme McGriff's son, and even Rick Ross. At first, everyone thought this was just another petty ego, war rap, legends clashing over respect and turf. You know, the usual. 50 Cent refusing to check in, J. Prince feeling disrespected, some subliminal shots on social media. But baby, 50 just pulled the curtain back on something way darker. Something that sounds less like rap beef and more like a murder plot. Yep. According to 50, there was a serious setup in the works, and he's naming names. Supreme's own son allegedly got his hands dirty, and Rick Ross, he may have just linked up with the enemy squad, adding fuel to a fire that's now threatening to burn everything down. So now we gotta ask, did 50 flee Houston because he sensed real danger? Did a trap almost get sprung behind closed doors? Let's break down the chaos. Hustling power plays and a dangerous refusal.
There supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that.
See, it all started when 50 Cent made a bold move. He didn't just visit Houston, he moved there full time. And when you move into J. Prince's city, there's one rule: check in. But 50 wasn't having it. He didn't believe in paying homage just for stepping foot somewhere. He had his own money, his own team, his own protection. And he wasn't about to bow to some unspoken street code. He even posted, "I love New York, but I live in Houston now." Everyone assumed it was a tax thing, but behind the scenes, 50 had major plans. We're talking a $20 million 0-cents G-Unit studio, business ventures, liquor branding, giving back to the city's schools. He was ready to plant his empire on Houston soil. But here's the twist. He did it all without J. Prince's blessing. And that, right there, was the start of a war.
Opportunity for me to start a new relationship with Houston. I'm excited about it. I had an opportunity. I had a lot of fun things for the kids. I think that they're really going to get a chance to appreciate and enjoy it.
The silent war begins whispers started floating through the city like smoke. People were saying 50 wasn't welcome, that his moves were being blocked, that eyes were on him. Some even claimed crews were waiting, watching for him to make one wrong step. But 50 wasn't the type to fold. Instead, he doubled down. He didn't see the check-in culture as protection. He saw it as extortion. And honestly, looking at history, he had a point. Takeoff checked in, still got gunned down. Jack's XXXX socket stayed low, still got hit. Jacob the jeweler got robbed even after playing the game. To 50, it was all fake security. And he wasn't about to play pretend just to make people feel important. But then, something shifted. Suddenly, 50 pulled out of Houston, quietly, no grand announcement. The G-Unit studio plans canceled. He moved everything to Shreveport, Louisiana. And when fans asked why, he didn't offer much, just one chilling line. Houston didn't embrace me the way I expected. That wasn't shade, that was fear. A city that loved him, but someone didn't.
And so today, we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson.
It made no sense at first. Houston gave 50 Cent the keys to the city, literally. The mayor named November 24th 50 Cent Day. He was the Grand Marshal of the city's Thanksgiving parade. But behind all the smiles and confetti, something dark was brewing. J. Prince? He was furious. Watching 50 parade through his city without ever paying respect felt like a slap in the face. And when a man like J. Prince feels disrespected, things get dangerous. Then the ghost of 50's past came crawling back. Supreme, the bullets, and a bloody history.
Nigga like 50, there's only 4 niggas that I know personally in Queens that wasn't scared of Preem. 50, E-Money Bags, Homo, and Big Nose Troy.
If you know 50 Cent's story, then you know this name, Supreme McGriff. Back in the early 2000s, 50 was riddled with bullets, 9 of them. Many believe Supreme's crew was behind it. Why? Because 50 dropped a track called Ghetto Quran and exposed street legends by name. Supreme was one of them, and in the streets, that wasn't music, that was snitching. Supreme didn't forget, and though 50 lived, Supreme got life in prison. He never folded, never flipped. That loyalty earned him respect on the inside. Meanwhile, 50 flipped his trauma into a brand. Albums, interviews, films, he milked that story for every drop. And Supreme's family, they weren't impressed. Irv Gotti, the bridge to retaliation.
You know I have the resilience to go against anybody. Like there's nobody that's too ill. Those are the guys that you would choose not to go against at that point. Just in the environment, they got...
Enter Irv Gotti. Supreme's day one. Irv was family. He funded Supreme's legal defense, rode for him publicly, and stood tall even when Murder Inc. was falling apart. And guess who helped destroy it? You already know. 50 Cent annihilated Murder Inc. He left Ja Rule in the dirt. And even after Irv passed, 50 didn't show any mercy. He posted a pic of himself next to a fake gravestone captioned, "Smoking on that Gotti pack. May God bless him, lol." Let's be real. That's wildly disrespectful. And Supreme's son, McGriff Jr., had enough. He clapped back hard on Instagram. If I said I was smoking on your mother and grandfather pack, y'all would say I'm wrong, right? That post was pure rage. Y'all love this clown, he said. Well, I'ma always give the same energy. The plot thickens. A deadly island?
It's for you, man. You the only one in Miami with that, baby. You know
see what it is.
You know the vibes.
You see what it is.
Yeah.
Warming up, nigga. 2024.
That's when things took a darker turn. 50 started posting cryptic stuff, talking about snakes in the grass, silent enemies, people pretending to be blind. Then, boom, alleged leaked info, screenshots, conversations, hints that Supreme's son and Jay Prince's crew might been plotting to pressure 50 or worse, set him up. And 50, he wasn't quiet about it. He called it out, trolled Jay Prince, exposed the pressure. But then Rick Ross entered the chat. Rick Ross, who's had years of beef with 50, was suddenly hanging out with Supreme's people? Coincidence? Not to 50. To him, that was a chess move, a dangerous one. He saw Ross linking with his worst enemies as a straight-up declaration of war. Did they really want 50 gone? Now here's where it gets scary. Rumors exploded. That meetup between Supreme's son and Ross might not have been innocent. Whispers said it was a setup, that after 50 kept mocking Irv, even in death, Supreme Jr. had enough. And if Jay Prince was backing him, that meant real danger. Jay Prince isn't just some music mogul. He's someone with decades of alleged street clout, cartel-level routes, and federal files that go way back. In the 80s, the DEA was all over him. Rumors of drug routes from Mexico, money laundering ties to Larry Hoover. This man moved differently. The Rap-A-Lot cover-up.
This was the idea of my father, seeing that it was connections to Drake and Kanye, and that they were such iconic figures. And with them going through things.
Then there's Rap-A-Lot Records. On paper, it was a label for local talent. But in the streets, people whispered that it was a front, a place to clean money, move product, and dodge the feds. In 1988, the government opened a full investigation. They bugged phones, tailed cars, pressured people. But just when it looked like the feds had enough to lock everything down, the case vanished. No charges, no headlines, just poof. That kind of thing doesn't happen unless someone's got powerful friends. So now, fast forward to today, 50's poking that same bear. He's calling out decades-old power structures, trolling men with reach, with legacy, with history. And the question now, is 50 Cent paranoid, or is he the only one awake? 50 Cent has never been one to back down from a fight, but even his most loyal fans noticed the man who once walked straight into chaos now seems cautious. Ever since the whispers of this alleged plot began to surface, he's been making moves differently, more quietly, more calculated. And it's not because he's scared. No, this is a man who took 9 bullets and lived to talk about it. It's because he knows what happens when real street figures get involved. This isn't rap beef with verses and bars. This is history. Bloody, messy, and deadly history catching up to him. And this time, it's not just one enemy, it's a triangle. Supreme's legacy, Jay Prince's empire, and Rick Ross's petty venom. And 50, he's standing right in the middle. The creepy timing of it all. What makes this entire story even more unsettling is the timing. Just when 50 thought he'd left the street drama behind and entered the next chapter of his empire, Hollywood, business deals, TV studios, it's like his past refuses to let him go. He's not some hungry rapper looking to diss his way into relevance. He's a mogul now. So why are the old enemies still coming for him? Because to them, 50's success is a problem. It's a threat to everything they claim to control, and the threat to everything they claim to control, he's proof that you can survive the game without kissing the ring. ring without checking in, without paying dues to self-proclaimed kings. That's what's really got them mad, the symbolic war over checking in. This whole drama isn't just about 50 Cent being disrespectful, it's about power, control, the illusion of loyalty. See, if 50 gets away with disrespecting the system crumbles. That's what J. Prince allegedly fears the most, that if he can't make 50 bend the knee, then other artists might stop kneeling too. And you better believe there are a lot of artists quietly watching this unfold, because 50 just did what most are scared to do. He said no. Loudly. Publicly. And now, he's being punished for it. J. Prince, Supreme Jr. Ross, whether it's ego, legacy, or revenge, it looks like they want to make an example out of him. But 50, he's not going out quietly. The trolling has a purpose. Some people thought 50 was just trolling online for attention, like always. The Instagram posts, the cryptic captions, the subtle digs. But when you look deeper, he's actually sounding alarms. This isn't about clout, it's about survival. Every jab, every warning post, every public statement, it's him trying to control the narrative before someone else does, before someone spins it, before someone silences him. He's not just exposing shady alliances, he's protecting himself by talking before the bullet flies. Let's not forget what happened to so many others who stayed quiet, tried to handle it privately, or trusted the wrong people. Nipsey, Takeoff, Pop Smoke, XXXTentacion. The list is long, and 50, he refuses to be next. What Rick Ross did. The final insult. Let's circle back to Rick Ross. This man has hated 50 Cent for over a decade. They've exchanged lawsuits, diss tracks, even dragged family into the drama. It's been personal for a long time, so when Rick Ross started getting cozy with Supreme Jr. and his crew, it wasn't just messy, it was disgusting. It was a statement, a full-blown taunt to 50. It was more than betrayal, it was war. Because Ross didn't just align with an old rival, he aligned with the son of the man accused of trying to kill him. That's a whole new level of disrespect. You don't link up with someone's shooter, alleged or not, unless you're ready for blood. And 50 saw it for exactly what it was, a trap. This isn't a game anymore, so now we're left with this. A legacy of blood between 50 Cent and Supreme McGriff. A power struggle with J. Prince that's gone from street tension to silent warfare. A bold middle finger from Rick Ross, stoking the fire on purpose, and 50 Cent alone, unbent, and louder than ever. Behind the scenes, things could be boiling, and what scares people most is this. When the violence starts, it doesn't come with warning signs, it comes with silence, with shadows, with someone you thought you could trust pulling the trigger or making the call. And if what 50's saying is even halfway true, that alleged setup, that Houston retreat, those strange alliances, then we're not watching a rap feud. We're watching a street war disguised as entertainment. The streets are watching. And now, everyone's got their eyes glued to the screen. Hip-hop fans, media outlets, the feds, the streets, they're all waiting to see who moves next. Because whether you believe 50's paranoia or not, one thing's undeniable. This drama is deeper than rap. If he's right, and a plot really did exist, then 50 may have just saved himself by speaking out. But if he's wrong, if this was just emotional retaliation, then he may have awakened a beast that doesn't forgive. Because for men like J. Prince, Supreme's son, and Rick Ross, being called out in front of the world, that's not just embarrassing, that's warfare. So what's next? Only time will tell if this battle stays digital or turns deadly. But either way, we'll be watching it unfold.